This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate. That's the goal each and every day, especially on a Friday here. You heard Bobby Carpenter's name there in the intro.
It was a lie.
It says a star, which must mean now that you are the star, Austin Ward.
No, that can't be right.
Austin Ward to my left, filling in for Bobby, who's down in Florida. He'll be back on Monday, but we are pleased to be joined by Austin. Austin, he is one half of the Austin and Berm, the Beat?
That is the daily version of the show. The
daily version of the show, the Beat.
We have, snap judgments on there. Got the notebook, everything else, but it's under the Austin and Berm Show umbrella.
There we go. That's what it is. Okay. Check that out on 10 TV Plus. Anyway, your podcast really can check that out, and they knocked that out. And Austin, one of the authorities on Ohio State football.
I don't know about that. I'm just a guy.
I would call him a younger Tim May.
Huh. What an interesting way to start a Friday morning.
You're welcome. Bodie over there on the other side of the fake glass. Thank you for tuning in today, folks. Go check us out on YouTube, and they'll replay us on 10 TV Plus from 10 a.m. to noon, and then again on 1460, The Fan 2 from 1 to 3. Reds were off yesterday. They're in action tonight in Sacktown to take on the Athletics. Guards over the Royals 3-2. They host the White Sox tonight. Packers beat the Commanders last night 27-18. A costly game for Washington, not just a loss. It looks like Eckler's got a torn Achilles.
Yeah. Rough one for them.
Yeah.
Nice night for the Packers, just really rolling along right now.
Looking good. NC State beat Wake Forest 34-24 last night. We do have some games tonight that are going to happen. It's a couple of Big Ten teams in action. It still feels weird saying it's a Big Ten team when it's UCLA. UCLA plays tonight against 10 o'clock against New Mexico. And then we also have Indiana State tonight at, 6 o'clock, 6:30?
I think we have to kick UCLA
6:30.
out of the Big Ten if they lose to New Mexico.
Okay.
I think those are the stakes.
Would you rather, if I gave you two teams to kick out of the Big Ten,
Okay.
which two would they be?
Based on quality of football.
Yes, let's look at football. 'Cause football got the first 10 votes. After that, it's like, then you worry about other sports.
Yeah. I don't want UCLA in the Big Ten.
You don't want UCLA?
No.
So you would keep USC and kick UCLA to the curb?
I don't really want USC either. I don't need extra trips to Los Angeles, personally, for me.
Right.
They're not cultural fits within the Big Ten. They're not geographic footprints.
Okay.
I think that USC is smoke and mirrors for these first couple weeks.
Sure.
People are going crazy. Oh, Lincoln Riley's got this thing
Look what they're
figured out.
doing,
He
yes.
Made the changes.
Right.
They've invested in the roster. Offense is dynamic. I'd love to just remove the Los Angeles wing of the Big Ten personally.
Okay, so those would be the two you would kick out.
Because you thought that I was going to say, well, you got to have Rutgers out of here.
Right.
That used to be my go-to.
Right.
Whipping boy. Get him out of here. It's the worst road trip. Berm makes me drive that one. It's like the same amount of time to fly out there and then take the train or rent a car, whatever, from New York City.
Does Berm sit in the back when you drive?
He hates it. He wants to be at the wheel at all times.
Right.
He does not like it if anyone else is driving.
Okay.
So that's part of the trade-off for me. Oh, you want to drive? Well, then you better be driving. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be asleep over here.
Yes.
But I very much would like UCLA gone from the Big Ten.
See, I think I would still. I'd probably still kick Rutgers and Maryland to the curb. I know, and I don't have to travel to LA, so it's I don't have to do all that stuff. I just watch from the comfort of my own home, and no jet lag for me going over there to cover a game. But I don't know. I just don't. Honestly, a couple years ago I might have said Nebraska too, because Nebraska's frauds. What they brought to the Big Ten is not anything what they were supposed to bring to the Big Ten. They lied. They took their makeup off and they got to the Big Ten. And we realized exactly.
Phonies.
Yes, we realized exactly what Nebraska looks like, and it does look like they did when Tom Osborne was there. But nonetheless, I digress. Hell, I kick Indiana out too, right? Frauds, Bodie?
Yeah.
They're gone also. Since Bobby is not here, our professor, we are going to have today's day in history, hosted by none other than Bodie Wells.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby Carpenter.
Take it
All right,
away,
guys.
Bodie.
Happy Friday, best day of the work week. We'll start here. We'll start on the day. September 12th, 2025, the 255th day of the year, 110 days left in this 2025. So we can change away from being down to double digits. That's hard to believe.
Oh, my. Where does the time go?
Exactly, right.
We'll come back from the bye week next Monday, and 9-10 days there. Be 99 days left in this calendar year. I'll start with some events here.
It's not a bye, though. It's an off week.
True,
It's an off
that's
week.
right.
Not a bye week. Hey, no one takes a bye.
Don't have buys in college football, just off, idle. Start with some events in 1624. It's been a minute. The first submarine is publicly tested in London on the Thames for King James I. Not LeBron, the actual King
The other
James.
one, the original King James.
1910.
Wait. That was the first submarine. Was 1624?
It's publicly tested. First submarine publicly tested. I don't know. I'm going to be honest with you, Tito. I just, go to today in history. I don't know the details
It's
of
okay
it.
to recklessly speculate on this. Like, I wonder.
Did the testing work?
That's what I'm saying.
Got the
I wonder if that
technology
first
back
one-
there?
Yeah.
It's
It's like, hey, listen.
TBD on that one.
I know you just enlisted. We're going to go ahead and put you in
Yeah.
the submarine and see if it works. Oh, it didn't work.
By the way,
What's a submarine?
Right, yes.
we're not going to just throw it in a pool.
Right,
We're just
no.
going to throw that sucker out in the ocean.
Right, we're going to do that, yeah.
Godspeed.
Yeah.
Jumping to 1910 here, the United States' first known female police officer, Alice Stebbins Wells, is appointed by the LAPD. Great last name there. 1919, this one's a bummer. Adolf Hitler, he joins the German Workers' Party as its seventh member. That German's Workers' Party later became the Nazi Party.
I feel like we could have skipped that one today.
No, but if
Listen,
you're-
man, it's today in history.
If Bobby's here, he'd say that's one of Shark's. Shark celebrates that. Shark has a flag he puts out. He would say something like that. We're not going to say it, though. We're better than that.
Big day for television here. First of many here. 1954, Lassie makes its television debut on CBS. Same date in 1954, the Indians beat the Yankees at home at Municipal Stadium before the largest American League crowd ever. 86,563 people showed up to that game.
Why?
Why not?
What was the date? I'm sorry. What was
1954.
it? And what was it? At Los Angeles?
No,
I'm sorry. I was typing on the chat. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
that's okay. The Indians beat the Yankees
Gotcha,
at
okay.
Municipal
All right,
Stadium, which is that was in Cleveland, right? Municipal
Yes.
Stadium. That was
Yep.
would have been before Jacobs Field, maybe there. 1959, the American Western series Bonanza premieres on NBC.
Where is he? Where's my son?
May I ask you, Mr. Cartwright, to address whatever questions you may have to my friend, Langford Poole. Mr. Poole, as you well know, boasts 12 notches on his gun. Would you care to try for 13?
Go home, Cartwright. Go home, for I kill you.
You tell me to go home? You with the smell on you of the charnel house, of flesh rotting and stinking in the sun?
You're gonna die for saying that to me, old man. You're gonna die.
That scene in particular had a lot of views on YouTube, so I have to imagine it was relatively popular.
Trying to figure out why.
I don't know.
Doesn't seem like it was made for us.
1963, continuing the theme of TV stuff here, the last episode of Leave It to Beaver was aired. Just a year later, 1964, the first ever football game at Shea Stadium is played. The Jets, they beat the Denver Broncos 30-6. In 1966, a couple years later, the Monkees premieres on NBC.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love.
1977 was when I got my very first album ever.
The Monkees.
The Monkees' Greatest Hits is what it was.
Nice.
And I used to watch the Monkees TV show when it was in syndication. I would come home from school, and it would be the Monkees at 4 o'clock, Batman at 4:30.
Ooh.
And that was my life, which shows you how much I was not an athlete or a friend person.
Now it's Pardon the Interruption. Right?
Yes, pardon the interruption. They're now my Monkees. It's but yeah, the Monkees were great, man. God, I love them.
1979, Boston Red Sox star Carl Yastrzemski gets his 3,000th hit off of New York Yankees Jim Beattie. He becomes the first American League player to get 3,000 career hits and 400 career home runs.
There goes the ground ball. Base hit. Number 3,000. Yastrzemski's got it. And all hell breaks loose at Fenway Park. You're watching it. We're not going to play baseball for a while. They've got microphones, cameras. The long, long trail is ended.
Jumping ahead to 1981 here, a couple years later, the animated cartoon series The Smurfs first broadcasted here in North America. A few years later, 1984, Dwight Gooden of the New York Mets sets a rookie strikeout record with his 251st strikeout of the season. His total of that season, 276, still stands today as the record. That's the modern era. Looking at some of the numbers there's some like 1800
Some rookie
stuff,
guys that do that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I
Which,
didn't know that, yeah.
I don't really know how to calculate
That's back. You
that.
could throw
admittedly,
spitballs,
so.
though. You allowed to throw spitballs way back then,
Exactly.
too. Yeah, Gooden's first 2 years, it looked like he was going to be just incredible. And then, because he went in his second year, he went 24-4 with like I think his ERA might have been under 2. And so his first year was 17-8, I think, maybe 17-9. Second year went 24-4, and then obviously cocaine's a hell of a drug. So
that could derail your
things went
career.
sideways at that point for him.
4 years later, 1988, the first NFL regular season game is played in Phoenix. The Dallas Cowboys beat the Phoenix Cardinals, of course, later known as the Arizona Cardinals, 17-14. In 1992, Dr. May Carol Jemison, she becomes the first African-American woman in space. And then a couple tennis events here. Kind of crazy these both fell on the same day, I feel like. 2004, Roger Federer wins his first U.S. title. And the U.S. Open title there. And then 7 years later, in 2011, Novak Djokovic does the exact same thing, winning his first U.S. Open title.
Are you a tennis guy, Austin?
No.
I can't.
It's not for me.
No, it's not for me. It used to be like when it was Borg, McEnroe, Connors, those kind of guys, before your guys' time and all that stuff. I could get into it then. Maybe a little bit of Agassi and Sampras a little bit, but I can't. I don't have the time to watch.
Bodie does. He's a big tennis guy.
Bodie's a huge tennis guy. Don't get. Hey, look, usually on this screen back here behind us,
Carp seems to follow it pretty closely.
Carp
at
does.
least in terms of like semifinals, finals of major tournaments.
I did used to, like when I was younger, it's sort of like you, Tito, like the bigger events. You're gonna watch Wimbledon. You gotta get to the later rounds. You watch that. But like, I gave that up a long time ago.
I just have, once you start having kids, it's like I can't spend 5.5 hours watching center play or whatever, and I don't know.
On to some birthdays here. Born on this date, 1818. He has since passed. He passed in 1903, of course. Richard Jordan Gatling. You could probably take a guess at what he did. He invented the Gatling gun. Born in this.
Lou Gehrig's disease. It's named after you there. Go ahead.
This one, pretty big one here. Born on this date in 1913. He did pass in 1980. One of the greatest track and field athletes of all time. A Buckeye. He went across the pond in the 1936 Olympics and showed Mr. Adolf Hitler what was up.
After the fanfares of the Olympic opening comes the most amazing performance by America's black streak Jesse Owens in the 100 meters. The world's most superb runner makes the others look as if they're walking as he wins the final and equals the world's record time. This and his later victory in the long jump may well be the athletic performances of the century.
A little bit of hyperbole there. They didn't look like they were walking. Let's be honest. It wasn't that.
That's what it looked like, Tito.
That's what it looked like. Yes. That's what
He
it looked
did.
like.
He smoked all of them.
He did,
It
yes.
was very impressive performance there for gold
Statue
medals
worthy.
in that Olympics. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, very much so. Born on this date in 1931, he did pass in 2013, one of the greatest American country singers of all time, Mr. George Jones.
First time I'd seen him smiling you, he stopped loving her today. They placed a wreath upon his door.
I don't get in the mood for that music often like that.
Soon they will carry
Genre.
him away.
Is a football Friday the time that you wanted to be firing up? He stopped loving her today.
I know.
Hey, you guys excited for the weekend?
That's the next theme song.
Got some George Jones bangers up here on the jukebox if you're ready.
Born on this date in 1944, Barry White, the singer there. Born on this date in 1957. Yeah, Barry White passed away in 03 there.
Tito tried to just drop it a couple
I
of
want to make
octaves
sure I got
right there.
this straight here. We played George Jones, but not Barry White.
Listen to
that was our choice.
When I read these names, if I know them, that's what gets played, and if I don't know them, that's the downfall of Carp not being here on any day on a Friday. Is when I with all due respect, Barry White, I didn't know that name.
Oh,
maybe that's a bad job out of me. I'll take
a lot of
ownership
kids
of that.
were born because of Barry White.
Okay, all
Millions
were born
I
because
do
of
see
Barry
it
White.
says "Can't Get Enough of Your Love, Babe." Is
yes,
maybe one of his bigger hits.
Maybe,
yeah, probably, right? Born on this date in 1957, turning 68 years old today, Hans Zimmer, right-hand man of Christopher Nolan. You've probably heard of his music in many, many movies.
Mm-hmm.
This might be his most famous one.
He didn't do anything wrong.
Because he's the hero Gotham deserves, but not the one it needs right now. So we'll hunt him. Because he can take it. Because he's not a hero. He's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight.
That's pretty good, right?
Yes,
there.
it is.
I think that should get you juiced on a Friday. Hopefully
You either
that
die a hero.
made up for.
Let's go back and play a George Jones again.
Mr. Hans Zimmer, that's good stuff right there. Turning 58 years old today, 10 years younger than Zimmer. Born on this date in 1967, comedian Louis C.K.
Like when I'm in my car, I have a different set of values. I am the worst person I can be when I'm behind the wheel, which is when I'm in my most dangerous. When you're driving, that's when you need to be the most compassionate and responsible of any other time in your life, because you are fucking driving a weapon. One time I was driving, and there was a guy ahead of me, and he he sort of drifted into my lane for a second, and this came out of my mouth. I said, worthless piece of shit. What an indictment.
1 for 2.
What kind of a way is that to feel about another human being? That's somebody's son. And things I've said to other people. I was once driving, some guy in a pickup truck remember even, and I yelled out my window. I said, hey, fuck you!
2 for 3.
Where outside of a car is that even nearly okay?
I don't know who edited that clip.
I would tell you this. When the sound first started, when the clip first started, I thought, oh, thank God, Bodie didn't play something from the dark web that we could have recorded secretly about Louis C.K. and didn't play that. And then when I heard what happened after that, I was like, you know what? I think maybe that would have been
No dump
better.
button over here on the HD3, so we'll make sure we get that out of the
recording. Can you get that out of the okay, good. That's what I asked you about, yes.
HD2.
No one has to know.
Today.
No, let's
nobody's listening right
let's
now.
Let's talk about it.
Next up here, a very sad one here. Born on this date in 1973, unfortunately passed away in a car accident in 2013. It's hard to believe it's been 12 years ago. Mr. Paul Walker.
Hey, wait, hold up. I don't have any cash, but I do have the pink slip to my car.
Hey, you just can't climb in the ring with Ali because you think you box?
He knows I can box. So check it out, it's like this. I lose, winner takes my car clean and clear. But if I win, I take the cash and I take the respect. To some people, that's more important. So what do you say? Am I worthy?
We don't know yet. But you're in. Let's go.
The greatest movie franchise of all time. And it doesn't happen without Paul Walker. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
to a real one.
Hard to believe 12 years ago when he passed away.
I have not seen a single one of those.
Oh, Tito.
Well, today's the day. Pay
Yeah,
tribute.
you're right. Plenty of time. You're right.
To one of the most famous cops turned informants turned global espionage. Where do they go from stealing DVD players out of semis to now he's like, there's cars in space,
right?
And they're shutting down
how many
terrorist
there?
rings.
How many movies are there?
There's 10.
Yeah. There's 10.
We're waiting for
More to
11.
come.
We've got a cliffhanger after Fast X. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Turning 48 years old today, Mr. 2 Chainz. I don't even know his real name, but he goes by 2 Chainz.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, here we go. Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, my God.
Also contributed to the Fast and Furious soundtrack franchise. So
it
all comes back together.
You own me.
We own it.
We own it. Yeah.
If his kid becomes a rapper, does he go by 3 Chainz?
Probably. Or
depends
one.
on how many chains he has.
I would think that'd be the one, and then 2 Chainz would be in 3. I would think that would be like the goal, to be the one that your dad lets you be 3 Chainz. Like the kids are competing for that.
2 Chainz Jr. doesn't have the same ring to it.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Street
Austin.
cred. Street cred goes out the window with with you have Junior. Has there been a good rapping name that has Junior at the end? I don't think. I mean, the Junior Mafia used to be with Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, I like to call him. But I can't think of another rapper that who had Killa Juniors.
That's
Junior, something
a good
like
observation out of you, Tito.
Well, that's what I bring to the show here.
Turning 45 years old today, Yao Ming, one of the greatest Chinese basketball players ever. Turning 44 years old today, Jennifer Hudson, singer and actress. Turning 36 years old today, hard to believe he's just 36. He's retired 6-7 years ago now. Andrew Luck, the former Stanford Cardinal and
quitter.
The general manager.
Yes,
that's true. Yeah, he's got some work to do out there on the farm for the Atlantic Coast Conference member.
Yes,
Stanford Cardinal. Turning 32 years old today, Kelsey Ballerini, the country music singer, and then one of Tito's favorites, turning 20 years old today, Sydney Sweeney. You like her, Tito?
I don't know who she is.
Well,
you need to get out of your silo, man.
If she's 28. 28, okay.
I would consider her pretty famous at this point.
Really?
Yeah. I can't even say I've seen a lot of the stuff that I'm not sure I've
movies,
seen anything.
TV?
Actress.
She's everywhere.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. I probably know the face, and I don't pay attention
I don't
to
know if the face is what you're going to remember.
Okay, then you know what? I'm going to Google that. I have to get an incognito window.
You might want to
here.
use a different computer.
Yes, that's
Get
what I'll do.
on your phone and don't be on the
Private
Wi-Fi.
mode.
Sydney Sweeney, okay.
Some deaths for today. Edmund Randolph, he passed on this date in 1813, U.S. founding father. He was the first United States Attorney General and the second U.S. Secretary of State. Passing on this day in 1992, Anthony Perkins, the actor. Also passing away on this date, the Man in Black, passed away in 2003, Mr. Johnny Cash.
I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain. The only thing that's real.
Oh,
Bodie, are you doing okay today, man?
Yeah, I am. That's my feelings if Notre Dame loses tomorrow night. Starts 0-2.
You got us on an emotional roller coaster.
Listen,
you got
man,
George
Johnny
Jones,
Cash.
then and then you come back with Louis C.K. Some colorful language
now,
there.
that one, I think, would have uplifted the spirits.
No, it did, though. But I'm saying
Hopefully,
down, the George Jones up to that, down, up, and then we hear that. It's okay.
That's fair.
Barry White.
Last death here, Jack Kramer, the American tennis player, won Wimbledon in 1947, won the U.S. Open in 46 and 47. He passed away in 2009 at the age of 88. Some holidays and observances. It's National Chocolate Milkshake Day.
Oh, of course.
Great day. National Day of Encouragement. Tito, you do a great job every day. National Police Women Day. National Report Medicine Fraud Day.
What?
Get on top of that. Yeah, I don't know. That's what the internet says.
It's National what?
Report Medicine Fraud Day. So I don't know if that means like if
this is the only time of year that you're allowed to do it.
Yeah. I've got 7 cases I'm holding back on.
Days.
There's some fentanyl in the neighborhood mine's got. I've been waiting. I'm sitting on that
It's
until
September
today.
12th. Okay,
Yes, that's the day to do it.
It's 364 days a year. All the medical fraud you want. Today, no. We're putting an end to it.
And then
Not on my watch.
A couple more here. National Video Game Day, which is fantastic. And then last, but certainly not least, Stand Up to Cancer Day. So shout out to our boy Dickie V. Still fighting the good fight. Guys, that's what I got for you. September 12th, 2025, the 255th day of the year. Just 110 days left in this 2025.
Well done, as always, 3 Chains. Coming up next, we are going to give you some betting insights and knowledge. Lee Sterling's going to join us. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
That nagging pain, you know the one. Sometimes it's from years of hard work. Sometimes it's an old injury that never healed right. Either way, it's been calling the shots in your life for too long. But that stops right now. I'm Tyvis Powell, and QC Kinetics is here in Columbus to flip the script. Dr. Walkoff and his team use regenerative medicine, advanced cellular treatment that help your body heal and restore the damage in your joints. Not covering it up, not cutting it out. Actually helping heal and restore. And the results, long-term lasting relief. So instead of planning your day around pain, you're planning it around life. QC Kinetics, no surgery, no drugs, no long recovery, just a smarter, natural way to get your freedom back. Check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus. Bring your MRIs, your x-rays. They'll make sure you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. Just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Football Football season is here at Columbus, and Germain Toyota of Columbus has the winning plays. Drive home a brand new 2025 Tacoma SR5, just $269 a month for 36 months, 10,000 miles a year. Or power up with the Tundra, now just 1.75 APR for 72 months. Don't wait. These deals, they won't last long. Stop by Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or shop anytime at germaintoyota.net. Germain Toyota of Columbus. See dealer for details.
Okay, let's go. Top row.
EYECARE?
Good. Next row.
AM America? iCareAmerica.org?
Yes. Eye Care America helps seniors who haven't had a medical eye exam in 3 or more years. They also help those with an increased risk for glaucoma, and the appointment is often free or at no out-of-pocket cost. It's easy to see if you qualify. Go to EYECareAmerica.org.
Diane from Michigan, a disabled senior citizen trying to get by. Henry from Florida, a veteran fighting to make ends meet. Elena from Arizona, a mother struggling to feed her daughter. Hi, I'm Connie Britton, and I support Feeding America because they help provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year, like Diane, Henry, and Elena. Learn more at feedingamerica.org. Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
When it comes to prostate cancer, go to pcf.org for the help you need to navigate this disease and make the right decisions for yourself. Go to pcf.org today.
Day 1, the hardest day, the day you hear.
This is a type of blood cancer.
At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1. To learn more and get help on any day, visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572.
Through Travis Manion Foundation's Operation Legacy service projects, veterans, families of the fallen, and inspired civilians across the country come together under the common cause to serve in honor of our nation's heroes. Service projects include city beautifications, planting memorial trees, volunteering at shelters, park cleanups, and more. Ask yourself, if not me, then who? And register for a project near you or as a virtual volunteer by visiting oplegacy.org.
Cancer screening can save your life. Begin cervical screening at age 25. At 45, colorectal and breast screening. At 50, discuss lung screening with a doctor. Find resources for free and low-cost screening at cancer.org/getscreened. This is a public service message from the American Cancer Society.
Every child deserves a safe, loving, and permanent home. Help the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption find families for children who've lingered in foster care the longest. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
Bobby played for the Dallas Cowboys. Tito wears assless chaps. I'm dead sexy. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Indeed you are. Morning Juice, sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin, Event Risk Elite Protection. And now we are joined by our good friend Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports host of Locked On Bets. Lee, good morning, my friend. How'd you join your picks last week with us, buddy?
2-3 last week, so have to pick that up. Excited about this weekend. College slate's going to be a little bit better. Finally got some big games. I usually take the backstage to the NFL week 1, but last night's game showing people Green Bay Packers are for real.
Yeah, they looked good last night. It was I got to believe it's really difficult, I would think, for someone like you in the first few weeks of the college football season. And I'm not saying you have to pick every single game, obviously, but you've got some teams that, with all the movement, the transfer portal stuff that happens, the guys that go on to the NFL, and then you get some games like Ohio State, Grambling State last week where you don't really – it's hard to forecast exactly how a game like that's going to play. We knew Ohio State would win, but just like we look at the point spread, we figure out things like that. There's a lot of variables involved.
So here's something interesting. The 5 quarterbacks going into last week that were thought of as possible top 10 picks. And obviously the public, is attracted to the Arch Manning, Lenore Sellers for South Carolina, guys like that, and Cade Klubnik. All 5 of those guys, their teams laying like 24 points or more, 0-5 against the spread. So Vegas, they don't say anything when they're still counting money until like Wednesday or Thursday. When they lose, they're crying poor mouth all week.
Yeah, I think throw Drew Aller in there right as well, Lee. That's been a rough start for some of those big-time quarterbacks. But Got a new one starting for Notre Dame, and I'm checking your pick sheet, and you're kicking off right there with the Irish and Texas A&M. What do you got?
So I got to see this kid, CJ Carr, up close and personal. And the moment was not too big for him. Now, they didn't push the ball down the field much, but he looks like he is ready to go. He's going to be a top 10 quarterback, I think, if not later this year, early next year. And they also, they held up versus Miami, probably a top 5 offensive line that Mario Cristobal has built, a stable of 3 running backs, held them to 3.5 yards per carry. They tied that game late. Now, what's interesting is after that game, haven't heard about them. Why? They had a bye last week. So I don't know what happened if someone backed out of a game. They couldn't find Long Island University. Long Island University maybe double booked the game because they wanted to collect the money. But I think the week off is going to help them. Marcel Reed, I saw him twice last year in big games. He took over as the starter in week 4. And against Texas and South Carolina, he did not look very good. Unless they're hiding something that I haven't seen, the only real threat they have is KC Concepcion, the receiver that they ended up getting in the transfer portal from North Carolina State. I think Notre Dame's probably the right side here, 30-17.
Hopefully they use that off week to remember, Bodie, that they had Jeremiah Love. That would be beneficial for Lee's pick there.
Austin.
Did you catch the shade that Lee threw you there, Bodie? What do you say, Notre Dame, maybe they couldn't get Long Island University on the schedule this bye week? I don't know if that...
Listen, in previous years under our beloved Coach Freeman, sometimes those week 2s, they can be tricky.
That's a good point. You're right. Yeah,
just take a bye, can't lose.
You got a tie. It's what you got there. At least really
I have to say this, though, about their head coach. When he spoke after the game, that's what football is all about. Step to the podium. He gave Miami credit, said they were the better team that day instead of crying about something. And if I had a kid, unfortunately I have 2 girls and one just got married, but if I have grandkids and he's still coaching, he would be one of the 5 coaches I would probably steer my grandson to.
Yeah, certainly. When you see I don't know if you ever get a chance to see it, but the big tattoo that Bodie has on his back of Marcus Freeman, a likeness of him. But Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports Coast of Locked On Bets, joins us here. And I'm curious now, there's a big game in the SEC because there's a couple of schools. Tennessee's the home team. We're not really sure how good they are. Georgia's kind of been sneaky good so far this year. How do you see that game going?
I'm not sure what Georgia's all about. I know they were down some last year. They played Marshall, who the coach ended up leaving and taking practically 3/4 of the roster with him to Southern Miss. We've never seen that before. So Marshall's nothing. And Austin Peay, I have a sneaking suspicion this Joey Aguilar is for real. And he just looks like the perfect fit. How they ended up getting him, he was at UCLA. And as we know, Nico and Tennessee couldn't come together. So on the price he wanted to be paid. And he goes to UCLA, and he's been an epic fail so far. And Joey Aguilar looks like the better fit. And Georgia's won 8 straight in the series. Now, one of the games was played in a driving rainstorm in Athens, and that probably helped Georgia. But they've been the better team pretty much for this entire time. I think Tennessee plus the 3.5 is the right side. This line started at 6.5. It's come down 3 full points, and I think the Sharps has figured out this might be Tennessee's time to win this game outright here, 27-24.
Lee, certainly we spend a great deal of time breaking down Ohio State and the matchup in-state MAC showdown with the Bobcats on Saturday night. What's the national perception for you with the Buckeyes and what they've proven early in the year here?
I think they're as good or better than advertised. I mean, obviously they had some holes to fill, but, when you develop players and you have good coaches and good schemes, certainly pays off. So if they're not the best team in the country, they're certainly in the top 2 or top 3. Now, things can change, injuries, things like that. But watching Ohio, and Ohio is impressive. A lot of people, average person, couldn't tell you they won 11 games last year. Now, they did play a West Virginia team last week who is horrendous. This might be the worst West Virginia team I've seen in 30, 40 years. I don't know why Rich Rodriguez did not go for a transfer quarterback. He's got 2 lefties that aren't good, and he lost his starting running back right before the half. But the quarterback for Ohio, Parker Navarro, he makes plays. I'm not saying he's an NFL quarterback, but typical college quarterback, moves the chain. He runs a lot. He could run the ball 15, 20 times here, either by design or, just trying to pick up first down. Kid's gutsy. They have him listed at 205. It's probably about 185, 190. Got a couple decent receivers, but they just can't hit on big plays. But I think, the line is just a little too high. 32.5, 33 points. I think Ohio State, I think they win this game something like 45 to 17. And just did a show late last night in Seattle. They are getting ready for Ohio State. They're going to have those airside sirens going probably starting at about 7 in the morning there.
That's fantastic. Yeah, it's I can't wait if that game is Washington too. And I remember when I was talking to Carp on Sunday about this, and we both thought the line for Ohio State would be around like the 20 to 25 range, and saw it pop out there at 33.5 in one place and 32.5, and it seems like a little high, but people will still bet Ohio State. Let's switch over to the NFL now, and the Bengals barely escaped with a victory against the Browns. Actually, the Bengals didn't win that game. The Browns just lost it because they're the Browns. But
it looks like a win in the standings to me, Tito.
It is a W there. Yeah, it should be it should be an asterisk next to it, like a Barry Bonds or Roger Maris like asterisk next to it. But the Bengals have got the Jaguars this week in Cincinnati. How do you see that one?
Yeah, so this Jacksonville team is much, much better than they were a couple of years ago. Liam Cohen, I think we might end up looking back and say, wow, Baker Mayfield really misses him. How good was he working with Baker? Well, he only had 40 touchdown passes last year. A couple of years ago, Jacksonville went into Cincinnati. Their wide receivers, the top two receivers, were Marvin Jones and Dan Arnold. Now, a little bit better. They've got Brian Thomas Jr. at 10 touchdown receptions last year, already won to start the year, and Travis Hunter. So they've upgraded. The biggest upgrade is possibly the offensive line. They only had, I think, like 3 guys who I thought were NFL caliber starting offensive linemen. Talking to someone in the organization, they feel they've got 7 or 8 this year. So Trevor Lawrence looks like he's ready to go again, finally healed from that shoulder surgery, has a really good head coach who believes in him. I like Jacksonville. I think the wrong team is favored. Calling for the upset here, 26-20 Jags.
What's your game of the week this week, Lee?
Game of the week is going to be Minnesota and Cal. Golden Gophers travel all the way out to Cal. We're going to see if they can get a big win there. So Cal's been tough last year, almost beat Miami at home. First 10 callers get it for free, 800-400-9741. We hit our big 40-unit max wager last week. College football, we have our biggest play, maybe 3 years going on Saturday. They want to get involved. Check out everything, ParamountSports.com, and also about 2 hours from now on all the different platforms, YouTube, Spotify, Apple. Checked out the daily show I do, Locked On Bets, and that'll be up. I think we have 5 football selections going there. So if you like what you hear, just continue throughout the day. We're owned by the same company. A lot of fun working for Tegna and like I said, Locked On Bets and Paramount Sports, 2 ways to win for you.
Lee, you're the man, buddy. Have a great weekend. We'll talk about these winners next week, okay?
Thanks, guys. Take care.
All right, that was Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports host of Locked On Bets, joining us as he does every Friday. Coming up next, we'll just quick hitters, Morning Juice.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people, but anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
And we're live here outside the Perez family home, just waiting for the... And there they go! Almost on time this morning. Mom is coming out the front door strong with a double-arm kid carry. Looks like Dad has the bags. Daughter is bringing up the rear. Oh, but the diaper bag wasn't closed. Diapers and toys are everywhere. Ooh, but Mom has just nailed the perfect car seat buckle for the toddler. And now the eldest daughter, who looks to be about 9 or 10, has secured herself in the booster seat. Dad zips the bag closed, and they're off. But looks like Mom doesn't realize her coffee cup is still on the roof of the car. And there it goes. Oh, that's a shame. That mug was a fam favorite.
Don't sweat the small stuff. Just nail the big stuff. Like making sure your kids are buckled correctly in the right seat for their age and size. Learn more at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Lexi spent more than 6 years in foster care.
Before I was adopted, I felt alone.
With help from the Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption, Lexi now has a forever family and the foundation for a bright future.
Adoption changed me for the better. I feel like I can be whoever I want to be.
You can help find permanent homes for children still lingering in foster care. Learn more at davethomasfoundation.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Liar. Austin and Tito. Cody over there.
I think every show at the station needs to just have like a backup that has my name in it.
They really should. I think they should. Because you do everything.
I was on the Buckeye Roundtable on Monday night.
Okay.
And Skip just goes, well, and you can hear this guy, I guess, everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, sure. It sounded like I offended Skip by being on so many shows. Like, you're sick of him, and now I have him on this show.
I used to be a 97.1 The Fan whore, where I would do every listen, now that's what I'm going to say. I used to be. I would do every single show that they ever asked me to do. Didn't matter. Sorry, honey, I know we had plans, but I'm going to The Fan. Anyway.
So is that what you're calling me now?
No.
I used to be one.
That was my first wife. But anyway, no. So, but you kind of said, hold my beer, because I'm here. I do the Saturday show with Reeser, but I don't do any of the shows now. They never asked me to fill in any place. Everything I used to do now goes to you.
Sorry.
You do it all. No, it's okay. You know what? I would take the money without the work.
Yeah.
Which I'm good at doing, by the way.
Just right now first you're calling me a whore, but now you're asking me for the money.
I'm just saying, I don't think a Christmas gift of some significance is out of the question. That's all I'm going to say.
That's a fair point.
That's all I'm going to say.
How do you know I haven't already bought it?
And you know what? Maybe you have, and then I'll feel like a fool when you hand me the gift that I think is going to be really, really big. The Capital Ford of Columbus High School football game of the week. It actually is. Takes us to New Albany Friday night. The Eagles host the Upper Arlington Golden Bears. Coverage starts at 6:30. The kick at 7. Yes, buddy, I know today's Friday. I could have just said tonight. I didn't do that, but you're a pro. I'm not. CK. Yeah. After the game, it's Bayer Subaru Dublin's overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. Friday nights are for high school football and The Fan. Tonight is Friday night. Tonight is Friday night. All right, Bodie, make us proud.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Good morning, Bodie Wells.
Happy Friday, fellas. Best day of the week. We'll start here with college football. Wisconsin quarterback Billy Edwards Jr. faces long odds of suiting up for the Badgers tomorrow against number 19, Alabama, according to ESPN's Pete Thamel. A sprained knee kept Edwards out of the Badgers' 42-10 win over Middle Tennessee last week. Thamel reports that he's still considered week to week. The graduate transfer, he was injured in the second quarter of the team's opener against Miami of Ohio. That moved Danny O'Neal into the starting lineup there at quarterback for the Badgers. O'Neal went 12 of 19 for 120 yards and a score and a pick in the week 1 win against the Red Hawks there. And then last week, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns and a pick in that win over the Blue Raiders. The Crimson Tide, they are a 21.5-point favorite tomorrow in Tuscaloosa. That game will be at noon o'clock on ABC. Last year, Bama, they went to Madison and they whipped the Badgers 42-10. Hey, Ward, they were going to be up against it regardless.
Yeah.
Does Wisconsin have any shot in this one against a struggling Alabama team?
Yeah, I guess that's the part that's interesting, Bodie, is that Alabama is not Nick Saban Alabama anymore. They are more like Mike Price Alabama, or if such a thing even exists. We don't know what that actually would have looked like, but there used to be this time not so long ago, 5 years, 10 years, you'd say, wow, Wisconsin, Alabama, this has got to be the biggest game of the week. You've got the intersectional matchup, you have Big Ten and SEC, two powers going at it, and now it's just like, people are trying to win the Powerball so they can buy out Kalen DeBoer.
It's amazing.
I imagine there's people in Wisconsin who feel the same about Luke Fickell. Both of them have buyouts that are huge detriments. I don't really give Wisconsin's roster much chance as they go through the Big Ten schedule. I've even sort of like downgraded it in my mind for Ohio State. It's like that road stretch of 3 games in 4 weeks, and the last one being Wisconsin. It's like, well, they're going to be tough. They've got Luke in charge. They're going to be defensively sound. There's just they are not a good football team. But Alabama doesn't seem to be that well coached either. So I don't know what could happen. 21 seems like a lot to me, but I'm not going to say, Tito, wrong team favored.
No, you're not going to say that. No. Okay, well, you brought up an interesting point that I haven't thought about and haven't heard before. But when you mentioned the buyout for Alabama, and the woman who said she won the Powerball, she'd pay the $70 million to buy him out. And you kind of liken it to maybe people in Wisconsin do the same. Do you think it's gotten that upsetting for Wisconsin fans?
I think it has. I mean, the standard that they have there. I mean, remember Paul Chryst was cranking out 8, 9, 10 wins a year, and Wisconsin said at that point, this isn't good enough, and they were kicking in a buyout for that.
Right.
And they made that quick move, and this is not what they expect. And it's frustrating because I would have thought the second that Luke got there, it's like, that's exactly what they need. This is going to be an upgrade. I love Luke Fickell. I think he's a great coach. What he did at Cincinnati, I thought he would stay there until either Ohio State or Penn State were available options for him. That was and Notre Dame also, Bodie, was like in that conversation at one point for him.
He could have had the Notre Dame job if he wanted, right? Probably.
Yeah.
I think he could have.
I'm not sure.
The timing didn't work. The timing
was a huge deal, and I respect Luke a ton for staying with Cincinnati through a playoff run. That they got it. They kind of took it off the chin against Bama, but they hung in there.
Marcus being involved in
that's what I was going to say too. Is like I don't know if Swarbrick would have ever moved off Freeman.
Yeah,
I think he was ready to take that swing because I think Luke Fickell's a really good coach, and I know things haven't gone well at Wisconsin. But I think if you hired Fickell, it might have been a little bit. He's a very different person.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been a little bit of a Brian Kelly 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were ready for Swarbrick and the powers that be at Notre Dame were ready to take a swing on Freeman to say, I think this guy could win a national title, not just get us to the doorstep.
When I look at Wisconsin where they're at now, and look, I want Fickell to succeed. I want him to do well, but I think that 10 years ago, Wisconsin, Alabama, I would think, Wisconsin's got a shot. I feel like today they have no shot in this game.
Even just 5 or 6. I mean, they played they beat Ohio State. I'm sorry. They hung in there with Ohio State in the 2019 Big Ten Championship game.
Had a couple of those battles. They had the lead there.
Yeah,
in that one.
And then Jack Cohn almost died, but
Josh Proctor decapitated Jack Cohn at the end. But to the point you raised, Tito, talking about the buyout, like they're unsatisfied, and then you'll look and you'll read. I just read ESPN.com, and Adam Rittenberg had hot seats and what could happen with Luke Fickell, and they can't afford it. Like, Wisconsin had to pay the buyout for Paul Christ, and Luke's right now because they just gave him a new deal.
Yeah,
I
they
think
extended to it,
because
yeah.
they saw the schedule. They're like, we need to make sure that we still have a long-term vision, Wisconsin, not me, that we need to secure his future and protect him because this year might be very ugly.
Yeah.
And I think it's in the process of that, but I believe it's around $43 million. Wisconsin's not paying that.
Yeah.
That's just not happening.
No.
And that's a program, too, that just a handful of years ago, if you would have told their fans, hey, a 12-team playoff is coming, I mean, they would have been a regular or expected to be. And now they've definitely fallen on some hard times. Taking a quick peek at the noon slate tomorrow. Number 4, Oregon on the road against Northwestern. Number 12, Clemson, just a 2.5-point favorite on the road against Georgia Tech. Number 13, Oklahoma at Temple. And then Wisconsin at number 19, at number 19, Alabama. Also got Central Michigan at number 23, Michigan. So I could see one or two of those games, especially that Clemson-Georgia Tech game, kind of.
I wonder if Oregon will score 100 tomorrow.
That's true. It's gosh, they're favored by 28.5, and the over/under is 49.5. So.
They're going to that much smaller litter box. I don't know, man. Let's not discount the atmosphere there. The
Dan Lanning needs a big stage.
Right. The Georgia Tech Clemson one is interesting. But I think that they've got to have a statement win here soon. They
have not played very well the first 2 weeks. For a team that came in to this season saying, like, hey, Dabo, this is going to be a return to what we were a handful of years ago. And they didn't play very well. Granted, you lose by a score to what appears to be a really good LSU team. But then last week, they did not play very well against Troy. And then Georgia Tech, if Haynes King is healthy, which is always kind of 50-50, I'm a big fan of Haynes King. I think he's a pretty good college quarterback. He's never going to go in the first round or anything. But
he's got to be able to run 35 times.
Exactly, which is he might do that tomorrow and then not play the next week. But if they can run him, Georgia Tech can get you, man. Like, they're a program that will win 7-8 games. I think Brent Key's done a pretty good job there for them, and they could get Clemson home game like that. I believe they beat Miami last year, right? Am I remembering that correctly?
I think. Did they get robbed of the win?
Did Miami sneak out one? I thought.
I don't know. They had several.
They had the Virginia Tech one they snuck out on a Hail Mary. But I'm sure about Clemson. I can't remember that one.
They all run together.
I know what you mean.
Peek here. Yes, they did beat number 4 Miami, 28-23, and then they lost that crazy 8 overtimes, kind of air quotes, because once you hit the third overtime, it just becomes 2-point conversions.
The coin flip.
Lost by 2 points on a 2-point conversion at number 7 Georgia. So
that robbed me. By the way, that changed the overtime rule. Robbed me of some of my betting. Because you go into, let's say Miami, or Georgia Tech, or Miami say laying 3 or whatever.
Oh,
you go into overtime and it gets that far, it's like, well, now I can't win. It's over.
You're out.
I'm beat. And before, it'd be like, it could go on. I got the over. I got the over.
The over-under, you start to lose that, too, because you're just scoring 2. You're not scoring likely 7 at a time. Yeah.
I wish they would doing overtime, and I'm excited about an overtime to hit a bet. That tells you how sad it is on my bet. If I can't win in regulation, I'm sitting there sweating like all I need is 2 Hail Marys.
You got to get a hold of your Highness. He'll get you some stronger bets there. You won't even need overtime. You'll just be a winner. To the NFL here, guys. Coming off of a 18-carry, 169-yard, 2-touchdown effort on Sunday night in their crazy loss to Buffalo. Brown safety Grant Delpit, he is not too worried about facing Ravens running back Derrick Henry. Asked about tackling the 6'2", 250-pound tailback, Delpit said, quote, "It's not hard to bring Henry down." Henry responded to that saying he had a quote, "We'll see on Sunday." I'm not the biggest believer in bulletin board material. I think it can be a little overrated, but Tito, I'm not sure if I was Delpit, I'd be poking that bear.
No, I wouldn't be. That doesn't seem very smart.
No, it does not.
252-pound Derrick Henry running at you. I think you see Delpit try to get blocked a few times. Like, he'll try to run into it.
Business decisions.
Yeah, that's what it is. Totally what it is. Yes, business decisions. A good way to put it. Yeah. Look, I got to believe it's hard to tackle Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just if he's standing still.
Are you
sure? If he's standing still, I still think it's hard. If you get him running a little bit, I mean, exponentially it's harder. I don't know Delpit, and the fact that it's
maybe if you're a defensive tackle and you don't have a head of steam, you're in the trenches, it might be a little bit easier to get Derrick Henry down in there.
Right.
You're going to be at the 3rd level.
Yes.
Grant Delpit, and you have full speed Derrick Henry running at you. I promise you, it's not going to be easy.
When he gets that runway going, man, oh boy, he is so damn big, and it's unbelievable how fast he still is at that size. He's been in the league 10 years now, give or take.
Yeah.
And he is still, I know they lost that game on Sunday night somehow,
Right.
but it wasn't his
Josh
fault.
Allen's out.
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
The Henry thing though. You're right. We get to third levels where Delpit comes into play. I mean, Henry's not going to be trotting.
No,
if he gets to the third level, he's got a little bit.
Going to be a full gallop.
Yeah, that's what it'll be. So you know what this did for me though. It actually makes the game interesting now for me. Not that I'm going to watch it.
You're just going to be watching Grant Delpit the whole time.
Yeah, like I want a Delpit cam, or better yet, maybe a Henry cam. I want that. I want to see, and I pray that there's an opportunity for that to happen. Like the whole Bosworth-Bo Jackson thing, which I'm dating myself, where they were playing against each other on Monday night, and Bosworth talking all kinds of junk as a rookie, and Bo Jackson just ran him over and went in for a touchdown. I want to see Delpit have a chance, and I want to see Delpit fail. You know, I want to see, like, the best thing for me would be, and I'm not.
The Browns are in some trouble.
Betting on a Browns failure. Wow, we're really out on some limbs
What are the odds
today.
on that one there, right? Don't need overtime for that. I think that what would be great, though, is if he tries to tackle Henry, and I'm not wishing injury on anybody, but I hope it causes an injury timeout. I'm not saying I want to be injured like for a long time.
Kind of sounds like
I just hope that
for an injury.
he has to reconsider his words.
That too, yes, that too. I want to see that. I want to see just, maybe like a stoppage in play. Do they have to come out at least check on him and see if he's doing okay? That, I think, would be ideal. But if it goes the flip side, Delpit somehow
questionable with a bruised ego.
Yes, that's what it is exactly. So that's it for our quick hitters. Bodie, nice job as always. Coming up next, the Ohio State takes on the Bobcats MOU tomorrow. We'll hear from Ryan Day next. And also we'll hear from Austin Ward. Kind of a big deal among Ohio State beat reporters. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
When it comes to protecting your business, whether it's your staff, property, or assets, don't make a crucial mistake by contracting companies that provide subpar and unprofessional service. What you need is a security partner known for their unwavering professionalism and unnatural liability. You need Event Risk. Event Risk is a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company that not only specializes in on-site guarding, but also offers armed security associates and executive protection agents. Event Risk, elite protection for your peace of mind.
Hello, my name is Eric Rose, CEO and founder of Event Risk Security Services. We are a U.S.-based, veteran-owned company providing protection services and consulting to Fortune 500 corporations, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor-quality security officers and the endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give us a try. For virtually the same cost, we can then address what keeps you up at night.
Visit EventRiskInc.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better, you've earned it.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Tito has had 2 wives. They've both been named Heather. If you know someone named Heather, please warn her. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Boy, I tell you, I had 2 big-time old guy moments right there in the break there. Getting the names wrong.
At least you were close.
I was close, right?
Gino Ariema.
Yes. That's, gosh, I'm getting so damn old.
Sneaks up on you.
You know what? It snuck up on me a long time ago. So this game coming up now, and I've said all along, Austin, that I think that the way these first couple games have played out are just about ideal for Ryan Day and the Buckeyes. A close game against a quality opponent, and so it tested them there, and then a damn near perfect game against Grambling State when you could have, like, and I told Bobby this the other day. I think 70-0 is a lot different than 70-3. It's like it's more than a 3-point difference because you got a shutout in this with your 4th stringers out there playing some significant minutes. But it feels like if Day could have scripted a perfect first 2 weeks, this would be it.
Yeah, he kind of joked about that on Tuesday. It's like, yeah, it's perfect because they beat Texas. And it would have felt a lot different if they had to go into this stretch where you follow up week 1 with Grambling and then Ohio and then the off week and like all the angst that there could have been. Because like the national championship honeymoon would have been over immediately. It's like, oh, another big game and we're going right back to what happened before. But didn't do that. Got another win over the number 1 team in the country. The Buckeyes are back to number 1. And I thought it was interesting because I'd kind of speculated, and I talked to you and Bob about this on a few Wednesdays where the schedule would allow you have all of August, and Ohio State really was seemingly channeling that into Texas. And the game plan was going to be specific. It wasn't, trying to install for the broader picture, getting ready for the full year. Beat Texas, and then you would have a chance to take these 3 weeks, and with all due respect to the Bobcats and MAC champions a year ago and a big win over West Virginia, they're still nearly a 5-touchdown underdog. It's a next level up from Grambling, but you can ramp back into the year. You can treat these couple weeks as training camp style practices. You had an opportunity against Grambling to get the depth in. You had all the freshmen in the second half. You had, 3rd and 4th stringers that you mentioned playing Tito, and they not only, built that lead on offense, but they also protected that shutout in the second half. So there were a lot of good things that they could feel good about and then build around for Ohio, then that off week, and then going into the Big Ten schedule. So the way it's set up, once you beat Texas, you take that deep breath, you exhale, and then I think the part that is the challenge now for Ryan Day is making sure that he still had their attention. Like now you're in a new training camp. Can you maximize these practices? And I think through the week and a half, 2 weeks that we've seen so far, they really have, because you watch what the starters did last Saturday night. We kind of glossed that over. They have to take care of their business immediately for the backups to get their chance, and they did that.
Here is Ryan Day on the Ryan Day Show talking about how it's not about them, meaning the opponent. It's always about us. I can't do it.
Sorry, Tito.
Yeah, it's all right, bud.
It doesn't matter who the opponent is. It's about us. And so, a lot of coaches talk about that, but we have to practice that. And so the way we practice and how fast we practice is going to be critically important about where we go this season, because everybody in the country wants what we want, and it's just, who's willing to do the work on a day-to-day basis.
And that's kind of what you saw against Grambling State. Like he went into the mentality of, it's Grambling State, that's fine, but it's if we execute, we practice where we're supposed to practice, execute the way we're supposed to execute, whatever the result is doesn't matter. It should be good for us, but if it's not, and we've done everything we could and played a perfect game, quote-unquote perfect, then it's okay.
Well, they're going to make mistakes.
Yep.
And they did. I think we talked about, I talked to Ryan Day immediately after the game. How do you balance out what's the coaching message when you have a situation like Julian Sayin had his first turnover? And you never want that to happen if you're Ryan Day or Julian Sayin or Brian Hartline or Billy Fessler. If it's going to happen, I think it's better in a situation like Grambling. You get past that. It's not going to cost you the game. It's not like you just accept that as long as you can correct those and get those cleaned up moving forward. And I think they will. It's the same deal with if someone misses a tackle or Bo Jackson had the ball security issue. It gives you those coaching points. And you'd much rather do that in a win. And you're going to try and nitpick, I think, to find some of those things. That's, as the person who normally sits in this seat would say, the standard is the standard. And, that doesn't mean it has to be 70-0 or that every play has to be perfectly executed. But that you when you have something that goes awry, doesn't go according to plan, you get that addressed immediately. You don't let that linger. You don't let it happen a second time, a third time. And that's been, I think, the most impressive part about watching, the way Ohio State responded post-Michigan last year in the playoff, but just the way that they're going through this season already, as you can see the things that are being emphasized. From 1 week to week 2, you say, if you're Ryan Day, we'll put more on Julian Sain's plate. We want to expand the passing attack. We want that to be more explosive down the field. And then what happened? Yes, it's Grambling, but they went out and that they got what they emphasized. And I think that's this week going to happen for the run game.
Austin, when I before the Texas week when that was going on, I said that what I was looking most forward to seeing was when Manning or Sayin either gets hit really hard the first time or makes a mistake, how they bounce back from that. And that's why I was curious to see what would happen with Sayin after that pick, because it was a bad interception down there in the end. Like in other games, that might be a very, very costly turnover, but he responded fine. I think that I think that's good for him to have to deal with that.
And he's got adversity through 2 weeks. I mean, I know that might feel like an exaggeration to say that throwing an interception against Grambling is adversity, but he is learning this stuff for the first time. It can be easy for us to just say he beat Texas. He was a 5-star.
Right.
Ryan Day wanted this guy. Everyone in the country believed in him. It's going to be easy for him. But playing quarterback and playing at Ohio State specifically, I think it's the most demanding job in college sports and one of the toughest that you can have in sports, given the scrutiny that you have at Ohio State, the expectations to play that position for Ryan Day, for this fan base, for you and me, talking about it every single day, 365 days a year, Tito.
366 on leap years.
Yeah, we don't stop. So that's a lot of pressure, and dealing with that, even against an opponent like Grambling, when you make a mistake, you find out a lot about those guys. Now, I think we already had done that. Like, Julian Sayin showed against a really, really, really talented Texas defense that he wasn't fazed by the opportunity, wasn't fazed by the challenge, and he took a couple hits in that, and he didn't get a chance maybe even to show what he's really capable of doing, but we're going to see that as they add to the arsenal and add to the playbook as they move forward here, but I don't think that there's anything you could ask Julian Sayin to do at quarterback that he can't.
Here was Ryan Day on the Ryan Day Show, also talking about the benefits of playing fast.
Yeah, and there's a lot of benefits to playing fast, but there's pluses and minuses to everything. And said this before, when you're exclusively one thing, eventually, people are going to dive onto that. There's so too many great coaches nowadays. They're going to make adjustments and get things to their advantage. So I think with the more things you can do, whether you line up in bigger sets and spread them out, or line up with little guys and bring them in, playing with different tempos. There's just a lot of things that we can do to put stress on the defense to make sure we're dictating.
Yeah, he made sure early in the week also mentioned like the word weapon. Like it's a weapon. Sometimes you want to play fast, sometimes you don't want to play fast, and be able to have the ability to interchange between those is how you can weaponize your offense.
Yeah, and I think Ohio State has everything in the arsenal that they could want. And I sort of think, Tito, that this game is not going to be the quick-hitting, deep shot-taking, passing attack version of Ohio State, and the no-huddle version maybe more specifically. I think they wanted to work through some of that, get Julian Sayin experience doing that, establishing the chemistry with Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis, of course. But if last week was the emphasis on the passing attack, I do feel like tomorrow is going to be trying to find different answers, different success on the ground game to build that for the Big Ten slate. And I think that might mean more huddling in a slower tempo. There were definitely points last year where it got frustrating to watch because Ryan Day would get to the end of a game and say, well, we only had 4 possessions in the first half. It's like, well, you could have had more. You chose not to play at that tempo. You could have pushed it more, and you were doing that. And I'm not saying he was complaining about it.
Right.
It was just the reality of the situation, and they had designed that to get through 16 games. It worked out perfectly for them. I suspect that this Ohio game will probably look like one of the more methodical approaches. Now, Ohio State should win comfortably, and I think that they will be able to find success with their ground game. But I don't know, are they going to break off multiple 60-yard touchdown runs and have 3-play drives? I think probably not. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think they're going to try and execute something differently than they did last week. And if they decide to play a more quote-unquote ball control game, there's nothing wrong with that. I think this is one of those games that you get through and you're working on something different, and you're going to trust that the defense is also going to put you in really good spots because you're going to have turnover opportunities from Parker Navarro or 3-and-outs, and that they're still going to win the game. They're just going to do it a different way than I think they did last week.
So do you think going in that there is we are going to get Bo Jackson X amount of touches, we're going to get him to the game or get whatever, more?
Yeah.
Or do you think it's we're going to see how the game plays out before we decide how many touches Bo Jackson gets?
I think it'll be dependent on what the first half looks like. And if Bo Jackson's game had ended on the 8th carry last week, that conversation might have been different this week. It might have been all three of them are going to play in the first half. Now, it's also up to the way he practiced on Tuesday and Wednesday, and Ryan Day alluded to that as directly as I think he ever has about one of these situations with a freshman running back. I think back to the Dallin Hayden year. Right? He can help. He's explosive. He can slice through. Why is he not out there? Sometimes it can be a pass protection thing. Sometimes it's ball security, and it wasn't really that fine of a point on it. And Ryan Day said on Tuesday, it's like if something happens in a game, then we've probably seen that in practice. And that was about the ball security and the fumble that was late. And I think that will be in the back of their mind. They want Bo Jackson to play, and I don't think that they would have coached him nearly as hard if it had been a walk-on who fumbled on the last drive against Grambling. I think everyone knows, if you did see the first 8 carries, he is explosive, he's fast, he's physical, he runs violently. I think sometimes you watch Bo Jackson, and it's like a smaller version of Derrick Henry. I don't think it's easy to tackle him.
Yeah.
So,
Grant Delpit does.
Grant Delpit might think that that's a simple thing, but Bo Jackson has that upside. But you still can't put him out there until you're 100% sure that the football is always going to be secure in his grip. So I do think the game will have to play out. I think that opportunity might have slipped away. Now we're going to find out at 7 o'clock on Saturday night. But C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples also need carries in this offense. I think C.J. has acclimated himself reasonably well. Both of those guys had bright points against Grambling as well. It wasn't just Bo Jackson. It wasn't just Isaiah West that were pushing. I think the starters did some encouraging things as well, and they need that work too because they're at the top of that depth chart for a reason, and they're going to build into this Big Ten slate. They need some of that work before Bo Jackson gets in there. But we'll see what Carlos Lachlan decides to do.
A little bit of fake news there. You said 7 o'clock Saturday night. Let's be honest. It'll be like 7:09 or something, right? When they finally kick that damn ball off. Don't tell me it's 7 o'clock. We're going to have an
Peacock's
actual
got to ring out a couple more ads.
Yes, they absolutely do. Here's Ryan Day talking about the inexperienced guys getting some playing time. Eventually. Where is it not playing? It's not playing on my end for some reason. Oh, here it is. This is why.
Everybody has a role to play, and when you're able to get a guy who maybe doesn't see as much playing time out there, who's encouraging his teammates when they're on the field, those roles reversed is just good for the team. So, it was great. The sideline was even into it late in the game, and again, that goes back to the idea that the scoreboard doesn't matter. We got every play is an opportunity, and some guys really took advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool that they got so many guys got into the game that way. And I'm glad that Tavion St. Clair got in the game. That might be his only action. We don't know going forward. I mean, a lot would have to happen to get in the game this week, I would think. But, Lincoln looked good.
Yeah, I think Lincoln Kienholz made the most of that opportunity. I talked to him about that on Wednesday after practice, Tito, where they're part of the conversation where the outside speculation, is this a legitimate competition or not between Lincoln and Julian Sayin? The coaching staff certainly believed that it was, and we can see now Julian Sayin taking off the way that everyone wanted him to, but I do think you can give some credit. Obviously, Julian Sayin deserves the most amount of that. The coaching staff deserves that as well, but Lincoln Kienholz giving him a legitimate option and pushing him throughout camp, I think there's an element of credit you can give to Lincoln Kienholz as well. He's clearly improved. He's not the version that the last time
the Missouri one's done.
Yeah, it's gone. But I think that's the part that was lodged in the brain of people. It's like that's the only time you've seen Lincoln Kienholz in a snap of consequence, and he wasn't ready at that point. Well, a full season has gone by, and then 9 more months of practices and weight room work and Iron Buckeye stuff for him. He goes 6 for 7 in that game. He shows that he can run a little bit, the things that we already expected he could do. Those reps are more important for Lincoln Kienholz at this moment than they would be to get Tavian St. Clair a taste of experience for the future. Because, yes, Tavian St. Clair is 2 snaps away from needing to play from Ohio State. Lincoln Keynotes is 1 snap away. So he needs that work. And so I do think you're right. I think Grambling, that work is great for Tavian. That's probably going to be the extent of it because Lincoln Keenholz needs reps. And Julian Sayin does too. As impressive as he's been, and if there's been maybe one throw that was off mark and one decision that he wanted back with the interception on Saturday, everything else has been really, really good, obviously. And the accuracy and the decision-making overall, the quick release, it's all been up to what was billed for Julian Sayin, but he's only started 2 games still, and he only played a half last week. So there's going to be a lot of things still that he hasn't seen. And you're going to play some really talented defenses pretty quickly here. You know, Illinois on the road is less than a week or less than a month away for the Buckeyes, so you want to get him ready too. So I think this isn't a situation, and I compared it earlier in the week, Tito, to why did Julian Sayin get those reps a year ago? It wasn't just because, well, maybe next year he's going to be the starter or he's a 5-star. Ohio State could give him those reps because Will Howard and Devin Brown didn't need them. They'd both been in the program for so long. That's not the case now with this version of Julian Sayin and Lincoln Keenholz. Those 2 guys are going to need every rep that they can possibly get. So that's probably going to leave Tavian St. Clair on a different development track, but it's also the one that they told him all along he was going to be on.
Yeah, and I'm okay with you're right. Yeah, it's one thing I can, and you know this better than I do, but it feels to me like, Ryan Day is very transparent.
Oh, yeah.
There's no, if Ryan Day tells you this is what we're going to do to a player, that's what you're going to do.
I guess we're spoiled.
We are.
Because now we're going back to all the years that you and I have both been around college football and talking to coaches where we expect half-truths or sometimes outright lies or misleading press conferences. My experience, I thought that a couple years ago. Like, he's going to take Kyle McCord over Devin Brown. Like, that's going to ultimately be the outcome. And he kept saying, well, it's back and forth and neck. And lo and behold, that was the case. And then we saw what transpired as that season. That was the one time where I felt like I was being skeptical of Ryan Day with what he was saying. And I learned my lesson. That'll never happen again. Yeah. I don't think he makes accidents when he speaks into a live microphone. And I think that he's a truth teller. If he doesn't want to answer a question, he won't. And I know when that's happening. We all know when that's happening. But when he answers that question, the next time that he lies will be the first one. Like, he is telling the truth at that microphone, and I think we're lucky. We shouldn't take it for granted.
I don't remember, his first couple of interactions with the media when he got here. I'm curious, how different is he now? Or is he different at all from the first couple times you were around him and talked to him versus how polished he is? And polished sounds fake, but it's not. But I'm saying how good he is with media now and how forthcoming he is, how honest he is, all those things. He speaks with conviction. Has he always been that way at Ohio State?
Yeah, I think so. I remember the first time, Burnham and I have told this story a number of times on the Austin and Berm show, but the first press conference that he did when he came in, nobody knew anything about him.
Yeah.
Why is he here? This guy was in San Francisco and Philadelphia with Chip Kelly. Mm-hmm. The resume is like, I don't understand. Make me understand.
Right.
And by the time that first press conference was over, I remember I was like, this guy very much gets it. He's going to be a head coach someday. I didn't know it was going to be at Ohio State.
Sure.
It's like this guy has been training his whole life to be a head coach. And now the same thing obviously happened with Urban Meyer and Gene Smith recognizing the upside down the road. And they got that 100% correct. But then the one that sticks in my mind is the first one-on-one interaction. I remember they started doing the heavy balls and the baseballs and throwing into the net for warm-ups. And they're doing that with J.T. Barrett and Dwayne Haskins and Joe Burrow. I was like, I asked Jerry, can I just go talk to Ryan Day, the quarterback's coach, Ryan Day, about why they're doing that? I don't understand. And spent 15 minutes. It's like, yeah, I'm happy to explain all this stuff to you, and this is why we do that, and everything's different, but we like this and that. And it's like, I am blown away by the way that he handles the media. I'm still appreciative of it now.
Right.
But the first few times you experience, is this going to last forever? Because it usually doesn't.
Right.
People get tired of dealing with those demands on their time, the questions that they get from us, the good ones, the bad ones, the off-the-wall ones. It gets old the more you have to do it week after week after week after week, and the scrutiny that you get. And he has not changed. Even you think about what happened after November 30th last year and going back out for those press conferences and the way that certainly the end result changes things and makes it easier now.
Yeah.
Never back down from being challenged about that publicly. And that doesn't win you games.
Right.
But it does win you fans, I think.
I likened it to I'm going to Vegas next with my buddies, and if you're sitting at a say $15 blackjack table, I'm gambling much differently with a different mindset if I've got $75 in chips than if I've got $500 in chips. And I think that Ryan Day this year is coaching with $500 in chips, whereas he might have been coached with 15.
But even when he was down to the felt, he was still the same guy.
Sure, right, yeah. Yeah. We are very fortunate to have Ryan Day here and that coaching staff and what this team's doing right now. Coming up next, we'll tell you what's got us juiced. Morning Juice.
Hey, Columbus. It's Lorenzo Stiles Jr., Ohio State student-athlete. Football runs deep in my family. My dad played here, and now my brother and I are proud to carry on that tradition. At Monogram Homes, family matters too. They treat every homeowner like one of their own, building with care, precision, and pride. Monogram doesn't just build houses, they build homes, crafted just for you. So whether you're starting your first home or designing your dream space, Monogram Homes has got your back every step of the way. Visit monogramhomes.net to start building today. Monogram Homes, a builder you can trust.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
We are the keepers of the wild, America's original and most invested conservationists. For more than 80 years, we've been committed to conserving wildlife and the natural landscapes that define our nation. From rugged alpine ridgelines to peaceful tall grass prairies, we've supported the conservation of more than 36 million acres of American wildlands. Our funding has led to cleaner water, fresher air, and improved wildlife habitat. From abundant fish and waterfowl populations to robust deer and elk herds, nothing is more important than maintaining wild spaces for adventurers to explore and wildlife to thrive. We are America's hunters and target shooters, stewards of the American outdoors.
America's hunters and target shooters, along with firearm, ammunition, and archery manufacturers, have invested more than $46 billion to help state fish and wildlife agencies manage and protect wildlife and wildlands across America. For more information, visit outdoorstewards.org.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
We got a higher home appraisal after we put away our African art and family photos.
Has this happened to you because of race or national origin? Contact HUD at hud.gov/fair housing. A message from HUD and the National Fair Housing Alliance.
Tito invited the new Russian family who moved in down the street to watch Rocky IV. It did not go well.
I must break you.
This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Normally this is the last segment of the program, but as you know, our last segment of the program on Friday is our best segment of the week with AJ Hawk. So we'll have him on coming up. But right now, though, we're going to do this a little bit earlier. We're going to tell you what's got us juiced.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
The rules of this game, you can find them also in your home version if you have it still. You can check it out. But on a Friday, Carpenter would go first. Austin is Carpenter. Austin, what's got you juiced?
Whew, Austin is Carpenter. That's a scary thought. So I'm sitting downstairs watching a little football last night.
Okay.
Girls are upstairs. My mother-in-law, Mimi, to Liberty calls, and I can overhear I'm so excited for that sleepover tomorrow night. Oh, yeah. I didn't know we were getting that. Tomorrow night, Lib's out of the house? Okay, that's tonight now.
Yes.
So combine that with prime time kickoff,
Yes.
7 p.m. That means I don't have to get up at 7 to drive to the Horseshoe tomorrow, 7 a.m.
Right.
to drive to the Horseshoe. So maybe I will be carping it up tonight.
You could be.
Maybe we'll push it to the limit. It'll get it carry over the full morning juice with an evening juice. And you get that bonus night of, kid out of the house. That's can't really beat it.
That's the best thing in the world.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for that opportunity. What are we going to do with it? I don't know.
Right. At some point, you get to an age, what you do with it is you sleep.
Well,
you're not there yet, but I'm just telling you, at some point, you will get to that point where it's like, hey, we got to place ourselves. What do we do? Let's either do yard work or sleep.
It won't be yard work, Tito.
Good.
I guarantee you I wouldn't be juiced up for some Friday night yard work. I don't know. Bodie, what's Schleg's juice for today?
I'm 40 years old. Do I have a little bit of love handle on there? Yeah, but hey, guess what? I'm also 40. I can still deadlift over 600 pounds. You never know, like on a cruise ship, you might be out there on the island and somebody needs help, like picking up a refrigerator, and guess what? I'll be ready to answer the bell. Now, when it comes to running like a half mile, yeah, that's a different story. I'm probably not your guy. If you need me to sprint and jump on a shark that landed on the beach because it's not ready to attack people, like I can sprint and burst and do that and be strong enough to open up its jaws and save somebody from the clutches of death. But running like miles and stuff like that, that's not my game.
That the audio quality of that is perfect Schlegs.
Yes.
Scratchy AM is what that sounded like right there. I fully expected like Marty Brennan or Joe Nuxall to bust in there. That's exactly what it was.
I don't feel like if the shark is on the beach, it's really attacking anybody.
Yeah, that's probably not the shark's biggest
I think it's probably
fun of mind
trying to
right
find
there.
some water.
I've been on a couple cruises in my life when I was younger. How many cruises ever have they probably gone up to a passenger and said, hey, can you pick up this fridge?
Is there anyone here who can deadlift a fridge?
Yes. Right here.
We're looking for a doctor over here, and we need a deadlift fridge lifter over here.
Right.
Speaking of evening juice, I was listening to the Buckeyes show last night, and Mr. Bobby Carpenter jumped on with Beamer for a segment there, so that was great. Listening to this.
Did he besmirch me at all?
Good to have some synergy.
Did he besmirch
the morning show and the evening show. He did not, no.
Okay, good.
Did they have good chemistry?
It was great. It was fantastic. Yeah, it was almost like they had a really good radio show together for 5+ years. What has me juiced today, guys? Got a couple things for you. I saw this game was on last night. I caught the score of this game a little bit. Didn't watch it a ton, but we had some great moments pop up on the SportsCenter highlight reel of the Wake Forest North Carolina State game last night.
It was electric.
We had an opening kickoff return for a touchdown, which is always exciting.
Sure.
I don't care, what game it is. We had a tight end kind of tunnel screen get picked off by a defensive tackle and go the other way from North Carolina State. And we also had, I don't know if the game was ever delayed or not, but a significant amount of smoke infiltrate the stadium because apparently a food truck outside of the stadium caught fire, and it was pretty noticeable that the smoke found its way into I don't even know what that stadium's called down there in Wake Forest, but nevertheless, I was like, this is just ACC football on a Thursday night, man. You can't replicate this.
It was like a barbecue food truck just stationed, right out there behind the end zone in the concourse. And they were trying to explain it, why there was so much smoke on the field. North Carolina State's driving down there, trying to score a touchdown early on. And ESPN sent its sideline camera guy and the sideline reporter over to get footage of it. And the thing is engulfed in flames, the inside. There's a guy trying to put it out with a fire extinguisher in there.
Nice.
Right.
But it's
That's his livelihood.
The announcers were trying to joke about it in the press box. It smells like brisket out here. It's delightful. And Harry Lyles, I believe, was the sideline reporter. He's like, well, it doesn't smell like brisket down here.
Yeah.
It smells like smoke and fire.
Sounds like
Did they try to interview the guy while I had the fire extinguisher? I was like, hey, how are things going for you?
Can you get that out, bud?
Right.
We're trying to play football out here.
You can tell there's a lot of smoke usually if you see Hurricanes players running out on the field
That's
in
right.
it. That's how you can tell it's usually a significant amount of smoke.
What also has me juiced, guys, super juiced about this. South Bend bound tomorrow morning.
Oh!
Going to the game tomorrow night. Very fired up about it. Very nervous about it because I still think this is a very talented Notre Dame football team. And the thought of them starting out 0-2 really depresses me. I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to bounce back and play well tomorrow night. But A&M's a pretty good team. They can beat you. And it does have me a little nervous.
But
I'm
you got
excited
Brady
about it.
Quinn.
Yeah.
What time are we leaving?
Probably 9, 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah. About a 4.5, 5 hour drive. 7:30 kickoff, which will hurt the sleep Saturday night into Sunday morning driving back. But I always enjoy a night kickoff when we go because then you don't have to get up as early to make the drive out there. So,
but you're not going to spend the night out there?
No, we are Saturday
okay,
night.
Saturday. Yeah, I got you.
Normally we drive out Saturday morning regardless. But if it was a 3:30 kick, we'd be leaving at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Right,
and then the game hits and you hit halftime. You're like, I could use a nap right now. But
right.
Super just about going to the game tomorrow night. Weather looks absolutely perfect. So pretty fired up about that.
That's awesome.
Is it I'm sure it's difficult. How impossible is it to get Notre Dame tickets, though? I want to go to a game out there sometime.
Honestly, this game, for a top 25 matchup, you can get tickets on the secondary market for face value or less, which is kind of hard to believe.
Amazing,
I don't know if that Miami loss just really took the sting out of things for Notre Dame fans.
Right.
But yeah, they're not. Especially if you want to go to a lesser game.
Right.
I mean, how they might let you in for free against Purdue next weekend. I don't know who Purdue plays this weekend, but they could be 3-0. I believe they won their first 2 games against what I have to imagine are some very poor football teams.
I don't think they're Power 4
with all
conference.
due
I don't think
respect to
that,
Purdue.
No.
But, yeah, it's not very
I want to get out there for a
all.
game. I went to South Bend twice when I was working for Damon's Restaurants. We had a location out there, and I never took the opportunity to go check out the campus and stuff, but I really wish I would have now and gone over there. But
obviously I'm a little biased, but
little bit.
It's college football at its core.
Yeah. Right.
It's obviously much different than Ohio State because Columbus versus South Bend is a little bit of a difference there.
Right.
But the campus is awesome.
The tickets might be cheap, but the lodging, not so much.
That is a little different.
You've been there, right? Then,
Yeah.
You've been out there. Yeah,
a couple years ago, probably. Right,
I was.
Yeah, that's what it's been.
But it's college football to its core, and then in recent years, I don't think this probably has to do with the team actually being pretty good over the last decade or so, but the atmosphere has definitely been juiced up a lot, especially for games like tomorrow night. I think there was a while where it was kind of the wine and cheese crowd, but in recent years here, last 5-10 years in particular, it's really gotten to where it's like, okay, this is a big time game. You can feel it. Crowd's energized for it, so pretty fired up to be there tomorrow night.
You say Notre Dame, that's college football, at its core right there. But at last time I checked, usually it's 11-on-11, right?
That is true.
I mean, that's just me. College football's core is probably 11-on-11.
That's fair.
I mean, I'm just saying 10-on-11 doesn't seem.
Hey, man, they still barely crossed that damn goal line. We lost that game, though, well before that final play. If the 6-year quarterback could have remembered that it was a handoff to the right, not the left.
Yeah,
that would have helped as well.
Yeah,
but
that's funny.
What can you do, Tito?
Yeah, I hear you. So for me this weekend, I have a fairly low key Saturday, which I'm looking forward to. Now I do have my other job but I'm knocking off early to come in here and then work with Reeser from noon to 1:30. It's not game night because usually we do game night. Tomorrow is game day, just so you guys are aware.
I think that name's taken.
Noon to 1:30. Well, I think we spell it though with I think it's GAM day. I think it's GAM day is what it is. We just try to make sure we're not going to infringe on anybody there. But and then after that, it's like I say today as I sit here, I've got nothing going on. I promise you, the wife does not feel the same way. I think there's some stuff going on for me that I don't know about yet.
Is that why you mentioned yard work for me?
That's why I did.
You were trying to force it on?
That's like a Freudian slip when you think one thing when you say a mother. But it's so I think that somehow worked its way into my brain, But what I'm most at 7 o'clock, 7:09, whenever the game kicks off, I will be outside with our TV and a fire going, and trying to stay awake. I have found since I've started doing this, it's really tough. And I'll tell you what really scares me, Bodie. You too, Austin. I don't mean to say just Bodie. I mean, you guys, y'all, you people.
You talk to whoever you want.
No, it's fine. No, I'm talking right now. I'm talking to America. But I leave for Vegas next Thursday. Ooh. Now we're there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come home Monday. I am scared to death about how my body's going to respond to Vegas.
Oh, it's not going to be good. I'm going to tell you what. I was there for media days last month.
Yeah.
I was up at 4 a.m.
That's what I mean. That's what I'm worried about. Is that I will be getting, I won't be able to sleep Vegas times.
No.
I'll be out there with the senior citizens at 4 a.m. at the buffet. I'll be out there doing that.
Well, some people haven't gone to bed
yet. The good news
is
you can find entertainment.
Yes, I can. I can. But I'm really worried about that. My buddy's going to be like, we're going out, we're doing this. But guys, it's 8:30. That's 11:30 back home for me. I need some shut-eye. They make fun of me because I will take naps in Vegas. And I also have another thing where if we're in the sports book and there's a team we are heavily invested in and they're losing unexpectedly, I will go take a shower to wash the bad luck off.
Oh,
There were times last year when I took 4 showers in a day. And
you need to pick better teams.
I don't know. Look, listen, it worked. It actually worked. It worked about 75% of the time.
Okay.
That it would work. It's like we'd be watching the game, be like, 5 minutes in, and the team's already up 7-0 that we're betting against, and they got a turnover. Just like, oh, guys, Tito, go take a shower. Yeah, go take a shower. I'll go up and take my shower and come back down and do that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. But like I say, I'm not looking forward to how my body will react to that. Kids got flag football this weekend.
Nice.
Carp's defensive coordinator for the flag football team gave a big.
Took a week off, huh?
Yeah, no, Carp.
Yeah,
he'll be back.
Oh,
he'll be back. He's coming back. He's coming back for OU games. He'll be here for the game on Sunday. But he gave up. Our defense gave up a big play to start the game. And I started questioning Carp.
Yeah.
He schemed up and rallied, and the third grade football team won 35-8. We ended up rolling from there. But
not a
shutout
though.
No, not. I didn't want to say anything to Bob about it, but it's just we were a superior team. And to give up one like that, it's just like with Jim Knowles early on, giving a big play to Toledo. That kind of thing is what it felt like to me.
Sounds like you guys aren't really against the competition. You're just in a race against yourselves to get better.
There's a new league for us, and so we weren't sure what to expect. And I don't know if we've got a better opponent on the horizon this week. But
wait, Bob hasn't been advanced scouting?
He hasn't yet.
He's not been on the film?
He has not been on film for that one yet. Maybe he has. I'm not sure. Maybe that's why Courtney had the camera out there last time. Maybe she was filming to watch something there for that. But I thought it was interesting, though, that they had such a huge camera setup out there, the tripod and everything, and she had headphones on and was communicating with people. So we did get Connor Stallions out there to watch that team as well. So anyway, that's what got me.
He does need a job.
Yes, he does. He's not doing well with his employment after Michigan. I know he got killed as defensive coordinator in Michigan, a couple of high schools there, and they didn't even want him around. So, all right, coming up next, we will close things out the best way we know how with AJ Hawk, Morning Juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. NFL revenues were at an all-time high in the latest fiscal year, with the league racking up a staggering $23 billion in total revenue. They sent around $416 million to each of the 32 franchises. That's up nearly 9% year over year. Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, talk about how the NFL model correlates to local banking.
It's kind of weird to say, but the NFL model is similar to working with your local bank. Just like the NFL returns profits to its teams, by working with a locally owned bank, deposits are returned to that community in the form of business and consumer loans. It's a reinvestment that benefits the area in which we all live.
It is a total win-win for the community, the depositor, and the bank. Stop into our branch and see what a difference we can make together.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Buckeye fans! As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners, with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 3 trips to a Buckeye first-round postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
When it comes to protecting your assets, you need a security partner. Event Risk Security Services is a U.S.-based veteran-owned company providing protection services, consulting to Fortune 500 companies, movie studios, celebrities, and high-net-worth individuals. If you're tired of fluff margins with low compensation for poor quality services and an endless revolving door of vendor staffing, then give them a try. They're virtually the same cost, and they can address what keeps you up at night. Event Risk. Check them out at eventriskinc.com to learn more.
My name is DeMar Hamlin. I play for the Buffalo Bills, and I play safety. CPR saved my life. I've teamed up with the American Heart Association as a national ambassador to help create a nation of lifesavers, turning bystanders into lifesavers through CPR education and access to AEDs. Nearly 3 out of 4 cardiac arrests that don't happen in hospitals happen in homes. Join me to ensure everyone has the chance to live longer, healthier lives. Visit heart.org/nation.
Wrinkles, gray hair, and hearing loss are common signs of getting older. But being short of breath, having tightness in your chest, coughing, and wheezing are not. If you are experiencing these symptoms, you may be one of the millions of people who are living with a condition called COPD but don't know it. Early diagnosis and treatment can add years of better breathing to your life. For more information, talk to your doctor and visit copdfoundation.org today.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right. It's Bobby. It's Austin. It's
There's no Bobby.
It's Tito. It's Austin. It's Bodie. Don't confuse the facts. I'm so nervous because we have this guy on every week. All-time leading tackler in Packers history. Let's talk to him.
A man with many career achievements. Leading tackler in Centerville football history. Leading tackler in Green Bay Packers history. Still afraid of Larry Knopfsinger. And the crowning achievement, the third member of the Island Boys, A.J. Hawk.
He is A.J. Hawk. Joining us now here on Morning Juice. A.J., your friend and co-worker, Pat McAfee, keeps giving hundreds of thousands of dollars away on field goals for that 33-yard field goal they do every week on game day there. I'm curious, how far of a field goal could A.J. Hawk make right now confidently? I give you one kick. How far away is it?
Man, that's a good question. It's been a while since I've tried. If I got a good hold, I could make a 35-yarder, I would say confidently. Who knows? We might go back from there if I make that one.
You're already focusing on if the hold is good or not, AJ? That's like a cop-out.
No, I need a good hold. Are you kidding me? I'm not a kicker. I need a nice hold. You got to lean it towards the holder a little bit. Maybe if I can use a high school puck, like the little black puck, what gives you an extra 2 inches off the ground, then I can definitely drain it.
Love
Holy
that.
cow, 35. That's confident, AJ. I like it, though.
I mean, he's an athlete, Tito. What do you expect?
I grew up doing all the pump, pass, and kick stuff all over the place, so I loved it. But I was like a toe bash kicker back then. Now I got to try to do the old soccer style kick.
AJ, there's not a lot of Fridays where we could, get you on here and actually talk about a Packers game the night before. Sorry to shift away from kicking, but to think back to what's it going to be like in Green Bay right now with the way that this team is rolling.
Man, I still got a lot of good friends there on the staff, trainers and different people and equipment guys, and they're loving it, man. It sounds like it's pretty awesome up there. I just watching them again last night just shows that hey, week one wasn't a fluke. Like, yeah, we're a legit team, and I just think their defense is awesome. I was watching a lot last night from the how like Amazon has different broadcasts you can watch. I was watching the StatCast sometimes on it, and it shows like the end zone view, so you're behind the quarterback, and it shows all 22, and you can see stuff. And when the Commanders were on offense, like there's not a whole lot of guys open. There's not a whole lot of time to throw. Like the Packers defense on all three levels, I think, is awesome right now. And obviously Micah Parsons gives them a huge boost. But I think all those other guys are playing at a super high level too. And you couple that with Josh Jacobs and what the offense can do, man. They're rolling early. If they stay healthy, good luck beating them.
I really enjoyed my time getting to know Jeff Hafley when he was at Ohio State. And it was like, I remember his first press conference. I was like, that's another guy who's going to be a future head coach one day. And he was before leaving Boston College and going to join Green Bay. Have you spent much time or know much about Jeff Hafley and what he's bringing to the Packers there, AJ?
I got to speak with him and be around him a few times when he was in Columbus, and I was always impressed by him. And I was impressed, too, with a lot of guys that have played for him in the NFL, always had great things to say. And then when he actually got the gig in Green Bay, I reached out to him and congratulated him and everything. And he's always been super impressive. I mean, I've liked when he came into Green Bay and what he said, like he wanted the defense to be, aggressive, attacking defense, all of that. Like, yeah, every D coordinator is going to say that. Like, we don't want to say, hey, my defense, we're going to be soft and give up a lot of 3 yards and not going to gang tackle. Like, no one's going to say that. But I think he's truly implemented that. And those guys, they absolutely buy in. I think on the broadcast last night, you heard Kirk and Al talk about multiple times, like these guys are flying around. There's 6, 7, 8, 9 guys getting in on the tackle. It's just it's fun to watch when you see a defense like that. And I think, they should only get better as the year goes.
AJ, every year, the 1972 Miami Dolphins, the only team to go undefeated and win the Super Bowl. And every year when the last team that's undefeated loses, the 72 Dolphins do like a champagne toast together with the ones who are still alive. And I'm curious, will it be the reverse for you if when the last guy you played with retires from the NFL, will you automatically age a couple of years when that happens, and will you commemorate it all?
I mean, it feels like who's left? Aaron? Aaron might be the only guy left.
I was wondering about that. I didn't know if there were some rookies that came up that might still be around.
I mean, I played with Devontae as well. So,
okay.
Yeah, there's some guys. There's definitely some guys out there that I played with, but it's been a while. It's been a long time. This guy's playing for, Aaron's, 20, 21 years, whatever it is right now. Yeah, it's interesting. I never really thought about that. Now it's like the buddies I played with are coaches and head coaches and scouts and working in the front office and stuff. So that's kind of how it keeps me connected. But yeah, you're right. The 72 Dolphins, I don't know how many of those guys are left that do that, but they should, if another team goes undefeated, just welcome them in, welcome them to that exclusive club.
AJ, when you look at this college football weekend or what the Buckeyes have on tap here with Ohio, I think people love these in-state matchups or the opportunity to see some of the Ohio schools and the MAC. But when you are at Ohio State and you've got this sort of, no-win situation, like you have to dominate or it's not going to be good enough. What was it like as a player to prepare for some of these games where you know that you have to go out there and win, and Ohio's going to come in and want to get some bragging rights, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity for those guys who maybe are from Ohio, didn't get recruited by Ohio State. It's a somewhat tricky situation for the Buckeyes on the field to be in, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a weird spot a little bit. I think that's why weeks like this are the ones that the coaches are always the most uptight, because they just want to make sure there's no letdown from the team. Anytime, week one you're playing Texas, that kind of takes care of itself. Like everybody has a laser focus throughout the off season, that week leading up to it. And then you have a couple games that might, be considered, letdown games or trap games, and players, sometimes coaches think that they'll be a little lax that week. So I think coaches will be on top of you. It's usually a more intense week even leading up to a game like this, and it's so important, I think, to get out to a fast start and don't let them have a ton of anything early, and don't give them a whole lot of hope, I think, because the guys can play. They definitely can play, and hey, don't give them any confidence. We're going to find a way to jump on them early. And if for some reason something does happen early and they score, we give up a big play or whatever, hey, the sky's not falling. We know who we are. We know how good we are. Let's just get back to doing that. So it's good, too, to hopefully get some reps for a lot of guys that you're going to count on at the end of the year. I think that might be, second, third on the depth chart. Some of those guys could be starters by the time December comes.
AJ, I was very impressed with what Jim Knowles did in his time here before turncoat went to Penn State. But anyway, I'm glad he did. Looks like Matt Patricia even more. How impressive is what Matt Patricia's done so far with this team?
I love what Matt Patricia's done. I mean, it's not easy to come in. You lost a lot of great players from last year. You obviously have some great ones returning. You have a lot of young guys that have stepped up already. But to come in and also to be so, to make it look like it's so complex defensively, these players just obviously you got great guys that are smart and they can pick up the scheme. But Patricia, he hasn't been around the college game a ton recently, and then he can come in and implement what he wants, and these guys buy in and they know what they're doing. You don't see busted coverages, guys running free or things like that, which usually does happen when you're trying to install a new defense, especially early in the season. These guys, whatever way Patricia has done it, these guys are listening and they're doing an awesome job. And I think the best thing is Patricia knows, hey, I got a lot of big dudes that can run, and they're athletic, and they like to hit. So what can I do to put them in position so they can just feel free and run fast and go make plays? And I think that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese at linebacker. AJ, they're big, they're fast, they like to hit hard. I don't have to really lean on your expertise to see that, but when you're watching the game with your trained eye, what have you seen from those linebackers that impresses you about where this is going and what James Laurinaitis has done with that group?
Yeah, I mean, those guys, it's wild to see guys that are that big and that strong and can move like that. Normally, it just doesn't. There's not a whole lot of guys like that on planet Earth, I feel like, that are physically as imposing as they are, but how they move and especially how they move in space. There's a lot of guys that look good and they move good, but they may not be super physical or they lack this or that. These guys have it all, I feel like, and mentally, I feel like they absolutely have it, and they understand what it is, and they understand the responsibility that they have as a defense. And I love watching them. Honestly, those guys, like you said, Arvell and Sonny, they pop off the screen when you watch them. They're everywhere on the field, and it's cool to see. And it's also wondering, man, what's linebacker play going to look like? What's football look like 15, 20 years from now? We're going to continue to get faster and bigger. These guys are just so good, and I've been so impressed. And that's why I'm looking forward to watching the rest of the season, because when a defense can run around, like you can tell they're having fun. Like the disguising pre-snap, flying around 6, 7, 8 guys on the ball. It's a thing of beauty. I think right now they have it rolling.
Are you saying that that Arvell and Sonny they play a different game than Schlegs did?
Maybe, yeah. Everyone's got their strengths. We know that. Schlegs going to knock out 4 or 5 people by the time halftime comes around, going downhill. Especially if they're trying to run an inside zone, outside zone. Schlegs going to pick off some linemen and fullbacks, no question. But they're still playing a similar game, but those guys just they get there pretty quick, a lot faster than we ever did when I was there with Schlegs and Bobby. But they it is wild to see, especially watching them move in space and they make these open field tackles look easy when it's just so difficult. So that's what's cool to see. Like sometimes I'll explain that to my kids, like, hey, you see what he did, that tackle that guy just made there, even for like a 2-yard gain? I'm like, that should have been a 40-yard gain. But this guy is so good, and he has great fundamentals, and he finds a way to get the guy down and open in space, which is one of the toughest things to do. That's why I think these guys will have huge careers at the next level as well.
This is not meant as a slam because you guys all still look great. But among you, Laurinaitis, Carp, and Schlegs, the guy who has done the most to improve how he looks since you played together has to be Schlegs. I look at those old pictures. And what a job of the hut he was out there on the field. And he looks so much better now. He has reverse aged.
He has, yeah. Benjamin Button. Schlegs is a disciplined, crazy dude, and he looks awesome. His arms are. That's why Schlegs is impressive. He may have been 265 for a while at Ohio State with gigantic arms and a huge head and face and everything. Now he's just shrunk the rest of his body, but his arms have stayed gigantic. So he's figured it out. Whatever it is, Schlegs has figured it out. And he's check him out like online. He's still deadlifting 2,000 pounds at 44 years old, 43, whatever he is right now. So yeah, you're right though. And Bobby, we know Bobby's a freak, and Bobby's always going to, till the day he dies, Bobby's going to have like 4% body fat and look amazing and still run half gassers every year on his birthday.
Yeah, you said huge arms, but not long arms for Schlegs. We got that right. It's not long arms, just huge arms, right?
Yeah, which is fine. I'd much rather have huge arms than long arms. So yeah, Schlegs has got to figure it out.
Yeah, so that he can go deadlift a refrigerator on a cruise ship.
That's right. It's a lot shorter distance to lift it up if you got shorter arms, right?
I guess that's how that works.
I don't know. Is that physics for you? I don't know. What other than Ohio State this weekend? What other games are you looking forward to watching? What other games interest you this weekend?
Man, who is it? Who's Notre Dame have again this weekend?
Texas A&M. Bodie will be there live.
Man, that's going to be amazing. Like I love Marcus and everything he's doing there. I know I've told you guys that, but that's one I've definitely wanted to see what's going on. I know A&M, what a unique place that is too, and an awesome place. But I want to see that one. I'm excited for a night game at Ohio State. Also, to tell you the truth, I mean I don't know how everyone else feels, but I know it's not the Texas game, but I know I think the stadium's going to be sweet. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to make it, but I think it's going to be cool to see. Don't they have a bunch of new bells and whistles they're going to want to show off for the night game so we can use the lights and LEDs and all that? Like, that's a real thing, the whole game day environment. I think they're going to want to show it off.
Plus, Brutus needs to get revenge against Rufus, the Bobcat, who punked him the last time in the horseshoe. Like, we can't have that, AJ. Brutus has to get some revenge.
I know Brutus is classy and, Ohio State's classy, but Brutus needed to take him out, like, early. Like, set the tone early and make a nice, form tackle in the open field and let him know who the boss is. That was a travesty what happened last time. I can't imagine. I mean, I'm sure they're all going to be on the lookout. They're all going to, maybe all those mascots are going to have security around them. They're not going to want any funny business. But, man, you got to find a way to make it right.
AJ, if I were a professional broadcaster, radio guy, then I wouldn't do this on the air, but I'm going to go ahead and do it now since I'm not. But I know that back when Ohio State's practice was going on, and one of our chatters, Little Italy, was getting married and asked you for marital advice, and people loved that. They loved the advice you gave. It a lot of people, we got a lot of views, a lot of clicks on that, and it was we got a lot of response to it as well. Now, not next week, because next week I'm gone, and I don't want anything I do to go over to a week when I'm not here. But I think the week after that, at the end of the segment, we do something called Ask AJ, where we let one of the chatters and one of the juicers in the chat ask some kind of, whatever kind of, it could be marital advice, it could be parenting advice, it can be food advice, whatever it is, and ask AJ, and you get to answer that. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, that sounds great to me. I don't claim to have the right answers, but I'll give you my opinion, I guess, and how I would think about. But yeah, I'm all for that. That sounds great to me.
AJ, I thought Tito was ramping up to like, I have a question for you. No, his question was, in the future, can we ask you a question?
That's what it was. Yes, I did the first Ask AJ.
Yeah, it's like in football. We would complain. Sometimes you would have a meeting to talk about what your next meeting is going to be about. So, yeah, that's what we're doing here.
There we go. Buddy, make sure you make a note of that because I'll forget about it. When I get back from Vegas,
that could have been an email, Tito.
That could have been. Look, I'm not professional. I don't care.
2 weeks. I'm going to be ready. I'm going to have all my advice in 2 weeks from now. I can't wait.
AJ, that's called a mega tease in this industry. Thanks, AJ. We appreciate it, bud. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you.
All right. I think it's got legs. Buddy, we got to get imaging for it, too. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Get an open. We can sell that.
Yeah, we can ask AJ. We can do that. That's what I'm doing here. I'm not getting more money for it.
Money for the people.
I'm making money for everybody else. I'm not. No, but everyone else
company man.
Maybe I could also get a C on my jersey, right? Captain of ideas, right?
Go for it.
That's an idea.
That's your prerogative, Tito.
No
that's
more
something
money
you want to do.
But I will get the C.
Get the C on the badge. Yeah,
I'll get it'll be an A. Let's be honest. An A might not mean alternate. It might mean something else. They want to give me an A on my jersey, just so you know that could happen. God, I love AJ.
He's the best.
He really is. And I didn't ask him this, but I wonder, he's got all these friends that are coaches across NFL, college, whatever, high school maybe even. And I wonder how many of them would trade places with AJ. AJ's got a pretty good life, it seems like. You know?
Yeah, I don't think AJ is trading with them. I don't think.
Oh, no, I'm not saying accept the deal. I'm just saying it could be offered, though.
That they're trying to get it, yeah. I mean, he's got it figured out.
He does. He does a great job. McAfee show, he does a great job on that. And I loved it last year when they were on the alternate broadcast down on the field sometimes. Things like that. I hope they keep repeating and doing more things like that because that's a lot of fun.
I think they will. I mean, you have to evolve, and the thing that allows you to enhance your product is if you have good people, and AJ knows what he's doing. I know that there was a period 5, 6, 7 years ago where it's like, did you ever want to be in media? No. Do you think you'd be good at it? No. I mean, he's good at everything he's ever done.
Yeah.
And he has taken to it very well. You can just track how far he's come along in that career, how much better he is, how much more comfortable he is at it. Like, he's always had a great personality, but that doesn't guarantee that you're going to be good on television or good on radio, good on the sideline.
Yeah.
I think he deserves more reps like that, and that would help because ESPN now, as they look at the way that they're going to cover college football into the future, and they need new ways to do that, involving AJ is a no-brainer.
I remember when he came into the Fan, when he was considering it kind of thing, like over there on, was it Front Street over there, the old studio. And I also remember one time Heartline came in and was thinking about it as well. And so Heartline also, hadn't done too bad. Yeah, he's been all right. They've both done very well.
One chose media, the other chose to be the best recruiter in the country.
I remember coming in and they were deciding what they wanted to do and things like that. And obviously they have found their way very well. Thank you to all the Juicers for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Give me your prediction on the game real quick.
Believe I have Ohio State winning this game 48-7.
There we go, 48-7. All right. Bodie, have a great time in South Bend.
What's your prediction on that?
Oh, here we go. Pain.
No. Let's go 24-17. 24. Oh, yeah. Come on.
I want to make sure. I want to make sure to know if you
give the ball to love.
Yes, there you go. If they know how to do that. Thanks so much, Juicers, for tuning in. We're back on Monday. Morning Juice.
Delaware County Veteran Services, here for those who served. Located on the ground floor of the historic courthouse in downtown Delaware, our team of Veteran County Veteran Service officers is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Need a ride to a VA appointment? Facing a financial emergency? Are you or your spouse simply looking for answers? Then give Delaware County Veteran Services a call. 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment. Delaware County Veteran Services.
Wow, that nagging joint pain. You know the one. Sometimes it's from maybe years of hard work. Sometimes it's just an old injury that never healed right. I know I've got plenty of those. Either way, it's been calling the shots in your life for far too long. But that stops right now. Hey, Bobby Carpenter here, and QC Kinetics is here in Columbus to flip the script. Dr. Walkoff and his team are going to use regenerative medicine, just like I got, advanced cellular treatments that will help your body heal itself. It's going to restore the damaged tissues. It's not a cover-up for it. It's not pills. It's not scalpels. It's long-term lasting relief. So you don't have to operate your life around the pain anymore. QC Kinetics, no surgery, no drugs, no downtime. Just smarter and natural ways to heal your body. Make sure you bring your MRI, bring your x-rays. They'll tell you if you're a good candidate. The consultation is free. So just call QC Kinetics at 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. or visit them at qckinetics.com/Columbus.
You know a thing or two about the moments in life that matter. You've seized those moments to embrace joy, accomplish great things, and build meaningful relationships. Is it time now to sit back and reflect on a life well lived? Maybe. Or maybe there's more to be done. Maybe this is the most important moment you've encountered yet. By volunteering with AmeriCorps Seniors, you can seize the moment, lend a hand, and get back more than you give. We connect you to local volunteer organizations with opportunities that fit your schedule and match your interests. Through AmeriCorps Seniors, you can support people in times of need and make your community stronger. You can become a companion to your older neighbors, brightening their days with friendship. You can even become a mentor for young people, serving as a role model and enriching their lives. Are you ready to seize your moment? Visit AmeriCorps.gov/yourmoment and get started today.
You wanted to be cool, which led you to smoking, which led to a pack a day. Then you met that special someone, which led to starting a life with them, which led to wanting to live longer, which led to quitting. Then you heard you may be at risk for lung cancer, which led you to getting a low-dose CT scan. If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor and learn more at savedbythescan.org. Brought to you